Okay, so to help you do the subwork today, I'm going to do a quick review of graphing, solving systems by graphing. So I'm going to go through a couple of examples, and hopefully that'll help you do the worksheet you have today. Okay, so the first example here, example 1, we have this system, y equals 2x minus 3, and 3x plus 4y equals 32. So for this, we want to solve this by graphing. The way we solve by graphing is, first, for the first equation, it's in slope-intercept form. We don't have to do anything to change it. We can just pull out its slope, which is 2, or as a fraction, that's 2 over 1. And then we can pull out its y-intercept b, which in this case is a negative 3. So if I make some graph paper, I'm going to draw my x and y axis. Here's my y-axis. Here's my x. And then I can graph it. I start with b, that's my y-intercept. It's about how far up or down the y-axis you go. In this case, it's at negative 3, so I go down 3. And then my slope here, my m, tells me to go up 2 and over 1. So I rise 2 and go over 1. I can do it again to get a third point. And then I connect these 3 points with as straight of a line as I can make. Use a ruler. Okay. That's first. The second one. The problem with the second one is it's not in slope-intercept form. We talked about this on Friday. But just to remind you, if it's not in slope-intercept form, you've got to start by getting y alone. That way you can graph it. So in this case, y has a 4 with it, and there's a 3x being added. So the first thing I do is I subtract this 3x from both sides. Here it cancels. I'm left with 4y on the left side. That's good because y is more along. On the right side, 32 and 3x are not like terms. They never will be. So I'm just going to bring it down. I'm going to write the x term first because that's easier to work with. And that 32 is positive, so I'm going to add it. Next, I'm not done yet. I still need to get rid of that 4. I do that by dividing. And remember, when you divide, you have to divide everything on the right side. On the left, it cancels out. I get y equals 3 divided by 4. I'm just going to keep it as a fraction, negative 3/4 x. And then 32 divided by 4 is 8. So then, now that y is alone, I can pull out my m, my slope, which is a negative 3/4. And my b, my y-intercept, which is a positive 8. Now that I have these two things, I can graph it on the same graph as the blue line. My b is 8, so that means I move up 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put my first point. My slope is a negative 3/4, so I move it down 3. So it's down 3 and right 4. Because it's negative, I'm moving down. Down 3 and right 4. And then I connect this with a straight line. My solution then is where these 2 points intersect, which appears to be right here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. So my x value is 4. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, so my y value is 5. So this would be my solution, 4, 5. That's how we solve all of these. Okay? Let's do one more example of this process. Example 2. You have two equations again, x equals negative 3, negative 2x plus y equals 8. I'm going to solve this by graphing, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a x and y axis. Okay. Then the first equation, x equals 3. This one is sort of a special case. If you recall, this doesn't graph in the normal way because there is no y. The way x equals 3, anytime you have an x equals, you know it's going to be a vertical line. So you're going to start at negative 3 on the x-axis. X-axis runs left-right, so negative 3 would be 3 to the left. And it's going to be a perfectly vertical line, a line going up and down through that point. Okay? So that's all you have to do for that first equation. The second equation, like before, y is not alone, so the first step is to get y alone. Fortunately, this doesn't have any coefficient. All I have to do is get rid of this negative 2x. I do that by adding 2x to both sides. On the left, it will cancel, and y will now be alone. And on the right, 8 plus 2x, they are not like terms. So again, I'm going to write the x term first, but you don't combine things if one has x and one doesn't. Now that y is alone, I can pull out my slope, which in this case is 2, or as a fraction, that's 2 over 1, and my y-intercept b, which in this case is 8. So I start at 8 on the y-axis. That's up 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My slope tells me to go up 2 and over 1, so I do that. Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And then I connect these with a straight line graph. Use a ruler. And if you do it correctly, you end up with a line that looks something like this. This one, the two lines intersect right here. So the solutions would be the coordinates of that order pair, which is 1, 2, 3 to the left, so the x value is -3, and the y value is 1, 2 up, so it's +2. So that would be your solution. Okay, so the worksheet, the front of it is, I think everything is already in slip intercept form. It should be pretty straightforward. The reverse side, the back, has more problems that are not in slip intercept form, like the second one here. So do your best, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Thank you.